Every time I'm out on the road talking to you about films, I'm sure Bob Dorian has the same experience. You want to talk about this movie, An Affair to Remember. This was nominated for 4 Academy Awards, actually. Best Cinematography, Best Musical Score, Best Costume Design, and Best Song. And by the way, the only singing Deborah Kerr actually did in this film was the number she sang with the children. All the others were dubbed by Marnie Nixon. When An Affair to Remember came out, friends of Kathleen Nesbitt, who did such a wonderful job playing the grandmother, asked how she enjoyed being on location at that beautiful villa in the south of France. She was amazed because some of the people asking her should have known better. I mean, they were actors and actresses, and they were fooled by the sets, all of which were right there on the Fox lot. Years after this picture was made, Deborah Kerr was surprised that it continued to have an effect on the people who saw it. All of us, actually. You remember, I'm sure, that it was used as a major plot device in Sleepless in Seattle a couple of years back. Now watch this.
Next on AMC, Professor Richard Brown talks with Richard Widmark about his successful career on Reflections on the Silver Screen, an AMC original production. Next.
Season's greetings and happy holidays from sales and affiliate relations. And all of us here at American Movie Classics. Happy holidays!
AMC Studios presents the ultimate New Year's event, a 24-hour celebration with all your favorite big band stars.
Okay, let's hit it, boys.
Glenn Miller.
Pardon me, boys. Is that the Chattanooga choo-choo? Yes, yes. Track 29.
Harry James. Louis Armstrong.
Won't you come home, little baby? Won't you come home?
And many more. It's an all-day, all-night holiday extravaganza with the greatest big band movie lineup ever assembled.
I got a girl in Kalamazoo.
Don't miss AMC's Battle of the Big Bands 24-hour New Year's Marathon, starting New Year's Eve at 5 Eastern, only on AMC.
Well, how do you like it?
Presenting the brightest shining star of the Old West, America's first and favorite singing cowboy, Gene Autry.
I'm back in the saddle again.
American Movie Classics is proud to present a special collector's edition of Gene Autry's finest uncut full-length motion pictures, including the classics Down Mexico Way, Strawberry Roan, and South of the Border. 3 films that establish Gene Autry as America's favorite ridin', ropin', and singin' movie star. Order this special collection now for only $54.95 by calling 1-800-67-AUTRY, and you'll also receive AMC's exclusive 1-hour original production, Gene Autry Melody of the West. Hosted by Johnny Cash, this fascinating documentary provides an intimate look at the life and work of the legendary star. The Gene Autry Video Collection, a great gift idea, now available by special offer exclusively to AMC viewers and their families for only $54.95 plus shipping and handling. Call now and have your Visa or MasterCard ready.
I'd only been in one play in high school, but I'd always had in my head I wanted to be an actor, but I never admitted it to anybody, because if you did that back in the towns I grew up in the Middle West, you were just a sissy. So that wasn't the thing to do. But I always wanted, from the time I was about 8 years old, I wanted to be a movie actor. I went to this little school, Lake Forest, north of Chicago, Lake Forest College. And after I graduated, which was in the middle of the Depression, my mentor offered me a job as an instructor, so I stayed on for 2 years. And then in 1938, I left, and I went to New York and started to act.
And in your mind at that point, was New York going to be the end stop, or did you see that as a kind of transitional point to getting out to being a movie star?
Well, I wanted to be in the theater very badly, but always my main ambition was to be in movies. I didn't like the life of the theater. I hated to work nights, and I hated the routine of 8 performances a week. And when the movies did loom up, I was ecstatic, and I really enjoyed it. And I've never had any urge to go back to the theater. I was there about 10 years in New York, and I did half a dozen plays, but I never had any urge to go back.
Well, now that was a period in your life, basically late 30s to late 40s, when you were in New York, working in there. But in addition to working in the theater, I think you also did a lot of work in radio.
That was the bulk of my work. That's how I made a living.
Yeah, that was how you paid
And I made
your
a
rent.
very good living in radio. I jumped from one show to the other. I do 4 or 5 shows a day. I'd finish a show at 12:13 at NBC, and I'd have a show at CBS, which went on the air at 12:15, but I had about 3 minutes leeway. So I'd have an elevator waiting, a cab waiting, jump in the elevator, jump in the cab, scoot over from NBC to CBS, which was then on 52nd Street in Madison, and scoot right up to the studio and start the next show. It was a great life, but you had to be very young to do it.
It sounds so wonderful.
It was fun.
It sounds like you're zipping down in the elevator and you're synchronizing it and you're putting it all together, and you turn to your fellow actor and you're late and you got to get onto Broadway and you say, does it get any better than this? Does it get any better than this? I mean,
it was a lot
wonderful.
of fun. As I say, you had to be very young to do it.
Well, what kind of legitimate theater were you doing simultaneously with the radio?
The first play I did was a George Abbott comedy called Kiss and Tell. That was 1943.
Now, in 1947, you made Kiss of Death.
Yeah.
All right. Things were going so well for you, making a very nice living. Why did you give that up to move to California?
Because I wanted to be in the movies.
Well, how did they discover you? How did they find you?
I auditioned for Kiss of Death. The director, Henry Hathaway, an agent, sent me over, and I made a test. He didn't want to make a test of me because Henry wanted a piano player who was a dope addict to play this particular part. So he made this test against his wishes. But the production manager, who was around on the picture before it started, insisted that he send the test to Zanuck. And Zanuck said, take him. So that's how I got the part.